Wow, what a pleasure to be here and watch this film. I'm so deeply inspired by you. I mean, wow, so great to listen to everybody in the audience and have their reactions. It was so lovely. So without further ado, everyone, please, Uttera Singh, director, star, actor of Pinch. You just have to turn your microphone on. Perfect, great. What are we going to talk about? Well, I have many, many questions, and I'm sure the audience does too, so we're definitely going to get to your questions. So I want you all to start thinking now. What are your questions going to be? I have many questions, and I know that this must be such an incredible feat as an actor, writer, director, and I'm just dying to know some of your experience with this film. Like, what was the first scene that you wrote? I'm just so curious.
The first scene I wrote was the pinching scene.
Wow.
Because I just had this image for a long time in my head, because my nanu would tell me the story of my cousin going in crowds and pinching other people. And I found that story so funny that every time I would go to her house, I would tell her, can you please tell me the chimti story? And she would. So I just had this image for such a long time that I wrote that scene first and then built the story around it.
Wow. And do you feel like when you went to camera to shoot that scene that it was everything that you thought it would be?
Yes. We ran out of time to shoot the bum. So we didn't shoot, the bum is a stage bum.
Okay, I was like, the bum.
So we got, it was an 80s bum.
Wow.
Yeah, that we shot on a different day.
Yeah, okay.
Because we didn't have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to that AD.
She was amazing. I told her, I said, are you okay with me pinching you? She goes, it would be an honor.
Oh, wow, wow.
I'm like, bring your ass up. I did not say that.
But, you wanted to.
I wanted to.
Yeah, you did.
We had a very safe set, I would just like to say.
Of course. Given the themes around this film, how have you been surprised with, or shocked, or pleasantly surprised with how the audience has been and some of the feedback coming in from the audience?
Yes, moved, grateful, inspired. Also, it's been fascinating and it's changed my perspective. I've learned so much that at first, as a young woman, you're just so inclusive of all the women have been through.
Yeah.
But, and we're like, talking about it, and women will talk to you about it. But what's been great about this experience is that I've had men talk to me about their experiences. And which has changed my perspective, which has opened my understanding of assault is not just a gender issue, it's a power issue. Yeah. And we have to bring men into the conversation.
Mm-hmm. And in this film, there is sort of an untold story that we get to see with Kiran sort of happening in the background. And I noticed that in most of the shots, he's actually blurred in the background. Yeah. And then he sort of sharply comes into focus towards the end. We start seeing him more and more and more. And I'm just wondering, was that done on purpose?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Great.
It was a lot, and in the editing room also we were talking a lot about how much of him do we show.
Right.
How, and specifically in the scene where Rani and Rajesh come to her house and, the whole blowout is the editing. We talked a lot of how many times do we see him to just make sure that about him, and then we, so he doesn't just come out of we just come out of nowhere.
Of course, that makes complete total sense to me. I mean, as a filmmaker myself, that completely makes absolute sense to me. I'm just sort of curious if you can talk about what made you decide to make a feature film, write it, act in it, and just do it all? Like, I think there are a lot of people out here that want to aspire to do more as actors or writers or directors, and what would you want to say to them, and how can they get their start, or if there's a story that they want to, say, put on a screen, do you have any advice for them? And if you could share a little bit about your journey too.
Yes.
That was a lot.
I do,
I can
and I
backtrack.
think for all the actors, I would just say, do it. And if there's a story that you really want to tell, and if it's like, oh, I'm going to write it for myself, and I'm going to do it. And a lot of time you would want to be like, oh shit, you should I kept telling myself in the editing room, who cast her? But it was a lot of rehearsal and a lot of, and I wanted to make sure that I was prepped enough to be on set where I'm not thinking about performance, that we've rehearsed so much that by the time we are on set, I'm not thinking about performance.
Right.
I can switch into actor mode or have to make so many decisions that day. Another thing, I ended up making the movie because I kept waiting for that perfect role to come to me.
Right.
And perfect director to come to me and be like, yes, you are my star.
You were chosen.
You are chosen. And I was waiting. And then it was part of a project where I was the lead. Then I became the co-star. Then I became, when more money got involved, then I became the supporting actor. Then I became the townsperson. When I became I'm still going to play the townsperson.
Of course.
I'm ready.
Yes.
But it was one of those things that really inspired me. I'm like, I have to go make this movie. So, yes.
Yes, and believing in yourself to do it. You know, I'm sure that there must have been yes, absolutely, believing in yourself to do it. I'm sure there must have been so many moments where you're like, I can't do this. What am I doing? I can't do this.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, even in the writing process and then making the movie, which all independent filmmakers, it's such a grueling process. You learn so much about the human experience.
Of course.
And lots
yourself,
of digestive
probably.
issues throughout the whole. Absolutely. And then by the end of it, and then post is another beast. So one thing that my father said, and I think I've said it multiple times now, but I'm going to repeat it. He quoted Sachin Tendulkar, and he said that Sachin Tendulkar only thinks about the next ball in front of him.
Right.
And that's it. So you just have to focus on the one problem that's showing up for you. Don't think about the whole picture.
Right. That's amazing. So do you feel like, as a filmmaker, do you feel like you have set out and achieved the thing that you wanted to achieve with this picture?
I feel very grateful for what the film has come out to be, but I can't take full credit because I've just had incredible people come on board who have made this what it is. Mm-hmm. It's been our DP, our composer, our editors, our incredible colorist, our sound designer. I just got really lucky with people coming on and really trusting the story and just giving it all.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
It's all of our collective vision.
Of course. It takes many people to make a film.
We had a lot of animal support too. Yeah, I had my dog come in, I had my editor's dog come in. They were definitely giving their paws for support. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. I'm wondering if anybody, remember I told you to start thinking of your questions. Does anybody have a question so far? I also don't have very good vision, just saying.
At the back.
Okay, I see somebody waving. Yes, stand up. Do we have a microphone? Yes, we do. It's a long way.
Thank you. I don't want to make people deaf by yelling, so. Thank you for sharing this film. It was really beautiful. I found that it was so full of even little moments. I wanted to know what your inspiration was for writing all the auntie characters and the mother characters, because I find that the patriarchy, especially in India, everyone's affected by it, even women, and mothers, especially the women that are upholding it through communities like that. So was this something that was inspired by your personal experience, or how did you develop it?
Thank you for the question. It was a lot of observation and a lot of noticing that all of my, so many people I know ended up having autoimmune diseases in their late 40s. And I'm like, it's all that suppressed anger.
Of course.
Or it's all that suppressed people-pleasing that you've been doing your entire lives.
Yes.
I'm like, why do you have lupus? Like, what's going on? And I'm not starting any conspiracy here, but it was just definitely one of those things where I'm like,
oh no, I agree. A lot of my aunties have the same issues.
And so I was very fascinated by their autoimmune diseases, but also in a way just wanted to tell a story about a people pleaser, the mother, and like you said, patriarchy is so deeply ingrained in both men and women that it's a whole lot of personal healing that we all have to do and be aware of it, and how whatever small changes we can make on a daily basis. But it was a lot of studying, like my aunts being taken advantage of, or listening to my aunt tell a story about her friend who just, makes her drive her everywhere or things and never says thank you. So a lot of that. And then very intense conversations with the mother character about the balance of tough love and the balance of belief and the balance of like being a mother who loves her daughter and grief. So yeah, thank you. I hope that answered your question.
I feel like the character Shobha in the film is so well cast.
She's amazing. Everybody should work with her because she's an incredible actor and a brilliant human and activist.
How did you find her?
She worked with a cousin of mine in a movie, and he said I could send her the script, but that's all I can do. So we sent her the script, and she called me the next day. She read it in 24 hours. She calls me and she's like, I love this. Let's have coffee. So we had coffee, and I met her and I fell in love with her because she's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
She's fabulous in the film. And I think that her journey as a mother is also so fascinating in this film because she has to overcome so much just to get to that slap, which was, I was so happy. I mean, it was great to listen to people be like, yes.
You know what?
He could have got more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
No.
I don't want to get canceled.
We never got a chance to rehearse the scene properly. So when we were about to go film with the whole cast, we went and I said, okay, we'll just run the whole scene all the way through. Mm-hmm. And like some of our extras had just come in. We said, we're just going to run so we know where we're where the lights are going to be. Everybody knows where the movement is. And we do the scene like a play. And it ends, and all of our extras are like, yeah! So we felt really good. I'm like, okay, it works. We can go shoot it now.
Absolutely. Is there another question in the audience?
I just want to say it's absolutely amazing to watch this film and hear you speak. It's incredibly inspiring.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to know, what was the experience like having so many creative roles within the project, writing it, starring it, and directing it? Is that something you would do again? Is something that you would recommend?
It's a very difficult question. As long as you have a lot of emotional support, and as long as you're working on your own healing, yes, you can do it. I would do it again for the right project, but it's a lot. And but if you have a story, I would say yes, go for it. Do it. It's worth it.
I mean, we talked a little bit about this, and I want to just bring this up just from a female perspective. So, what is the most challenging thing as a female director and a woman of color, a South Asian woman, that you have encountered making this film? If you can share what you can share.
I mean, we talked about that specific incident. I asked one of the actors to just come back and sit in the bus. I'm like, you just have to sit. And he told me, he's like, can you just calm down? And I looked at him and I was like, okay. And he waited for the entire crew and cast and then asked me to smile in front of everyone. And the entire day flashed in front of my eyes And I was like, okay, I can get into a debate with him right now, but I have a day to finish.
That's right.
And I have shots to take. So I smiled, and I'm not proud of it, but I was like, I have to get through the day, and we did. And he didn't get his close-ups. That's all.
Yes.
So,
I love that. I love that. Do we have another question in the audience?
Yeah. Hi. Great movie. Amazing. The most relatable character ever. I thought the part where she posted the video online was really interesting because in so many films you see someone sharing their story online being like the big climax, and I thought it was really interesting that that didn't necessarily do what she wanted to do, and instead the big release was like sort of communal. I just wanted to know what your thought process was for that. Like, why did you want to include the video part and like it not work out and the communal thing? But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting and different, and I liked it.
thank you so much. The thought behind it was that not everybody gets their story heard. And I feel like assault is such a common issue, and it takes so much courage to speak about it. And sometimes you just make the choice of like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to deal with the repercussions of it. Mm-hmm. And either it goes in a positive way or it backlashes. So that was the thought behind it. I wanted it to go wrong and have like a mixed review online where mostly people don't believe the victim. And it's like a whole concept. The idea was like there's so much gaslighting in these.
Yes, I mean, and I think, specifically speaking, like within the South Asian diaspora, this is a very silenced topic and subject. It's taboo. So I want to thank you so much for making a beautiful film about it that was funny and heartbreaking at the same time, but also deeply inspiring. So I want to ask you, I know we are winding down here, so I want to ask you one last thing. What did you learn about yourself making this film?
That you can do anything if you put your heart to it. Yeah, I learned that. I was like, okay, if you just work hard, you can do anything.
You can do anything. Yeah. I love that. And I love that for all of us.
Yes.
For all of us South Asians. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this, everything, and just talking.
Thank you.
Such a lovely, let's give it up for